Hello YouTube makeup lovers. So today I wanted to do a quick video on the Lorac Pro No. 2 palette. I just wanted to do a review and show you guys some swatches of the beautiful colors that come in this palette. I'm also going to show you guys a side-by-side comparison with the Lorac Pro No. 1 palette, and then just kind of tell you which one I would choose if I had to pick between one or the other, because there's definitely one that stands out for me more than the other. They're both great, but I do have some favoritism towards one. So I will share all that with you in this video, and I really hope that you guys have a lot of fun watching it. So the palette has 16 eyeshadows. I bought it at Ulta. It was $42. The eyeshadows are very good quality, just like the first Lorac Pro palette. Like the first one, it also has the matte colors on the top row and then the more frosty shimmery colors on the bottom. I love that none of the colors on the bottom have like a chunky glitter or chunky shimmer, which I really hate. I do not like those products that you see all the flecks flying all over the place. I think those eyeshadows are very messy, and I love that this palette doesn't have any of those eyeshadows. They are just very great. You can do a complete look with this palette because it does have the nice colors that I personally have to use with every single look. For example, this color buff and light brown, those are pretty much colors that I use with every single eyeshadow look that I do. And when I don't have them in a palette, I have to pull them out from my single eyeshadows to use them, because they're products that I could not live without, and I love that this palette has that. I love how this palette doesn't just have neutrals, because you can get a little bit different with it. You can do different looks with it, although it does have really great neutrals, so you can do tons of neutral looks with the palette. But it does have the added bonus of having beautiful colors like this blue, there's this purple, and this green, which are very different colors, and you can definitely do really beautiful looks with them. So I just really love the palette. It also has a black color, which is essential in palettes, because that way you don't have to really bring out any other colors. And I really love this charcoal gray color because I just love doing grays on my eyes as well. So let me go ahead and share with you guys the swatches of this palette. I am first going to do the front row, the top row, not the front row. So here I'm going to show you guys the first three colors. The one up on top is buff, in the middle light brown, and at the bottom is cool gray. Next three colors are these right here, and the top one is nectar, the middle one is plum, and the bottom one is navy. Last two colors on the top row are right here, and the gray one is called charcoal, which I love that color. It's one of my favorite colors in the palette. And the bottom one is black. It's not the most pigmented black that I have seen. For the bottom row, I'm going to show you the first four colors. The one up on top is called snow. Second one is beige. Then we have rose, and last we have mocha. So these are the first four colors of the bottom row. And the last four colors in the bottom row are right here. The first one is called chrome. Then we have silver. The third one is jade. And the fourth one is cocoa. I love this chrome color. It is one of my favorites. It is the one that I have on today on the lid. It has great color payoff. It is one of the creamiest colors in the palette. So I'm loving this palette. I really recommend it if you want to try something different like this, and if you want some extra colors. The first palette I loved as well. If you can have both palettes, then that is amazing. I really love having both, but if I had to pick one, I think I would still go with the original Lorac Pro palette. This palette I can use over and over again. It has great neutral colors. I love wearing neutrals. I do love these colors that are here, little extras. It's like a bonus, but I do find myself not reaching for this palette as much as I would like. I definitely did reach more for the Lorac Pro, the original one. I happened to buy this palette at the same time that I bought my Kat Von D Monarch palette, And I guess between the two, I tend to gravitate more towards the Kat Von D palette. It has beautiful colors and it quickly became a favorite of mine. The Lorac Pro number 2 is really great. Great colors, especially the ones on the bottom row are my favorite, and this charcoal one up here. And I know I will use it a lot, but if I had really to compare the number 1 and the number 2, I still think I would go with the number 1, especially because of these 4 colors right here that I used all the time, and that garnet color right here is my favorite from this palette. And I found myself using this palette over and over again, and I never got sick of it. So here you see the 2 palettes side by side. Let me put the number 1 on top and the number 2 on the bottom. Beautiful colors. You can definitely get both palettes because I do think that they are very different. So if you're not getting these 2 palettes because you think they're very similar, they're not. They're different. They have very different colors. Of course, they do have similar colors, like the champagne one kind of reminds me of the rose in this palette, but they are all different. They both do have the black color repeated. As you can see, it's here and it is here. It is not my favorite black in either palette, but they both do have a black. Both can be used alone. You do not need to add any more eyeshadows to create a look with these palette. So they each just have really great things. But like I said, my personal choice is definitely the number 1, just because I know I will use it more. But the number 2 is great. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm really happy that I was able to get my hands on both these palettes. I love having them both. I definitely plan on using both of these palettes a lot. One thing I didn't mention that I really love about these palettes is the packaging. They are that cardboard packaging, very thin. Love it because it does not take up that much space. They both fit in my 5-drawer Muji drawer stacked on top of the other, and it just fits great, very nicely accessible from my Muji drawer. I also love that it's great for travel. You can pack this in your bag, and it is that cardboard material, so I think this palette will be quite safe on a trip. So it is great to travel with, and it's not big or bulky, and I love that about it. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this Lorac video, that you can get your hands on the Lorac Pro 2 palette if you really want to. But if you have the Lorac Pro number 1, you're good to go because it is an amazing palette. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much for watching Be Lounge Makeup. Bye!